So a couple months ago, I released a couple trout lures. The first one I came out with was this salmon egg mold. It was something easy that I could make just in time for trout season. There's not much to say about this one. And the second one is the micro paddle tail design. I caught a couple fish on video with this one. This worked pretty good too. I really wanted to revisit some trout stuff and use these molds again, but I think I could do better than just re-injecting these on camera. My mold designs have come quite a ways over the last couple months, so rather than just re-injecting these molds, we're going to do something a little different. I made the Trout Trifecta. 3 different lures, all in the same molds for all your trout needs. Now, Trifecta, I would need 3 lures. I just got 2 right now. So, because of that, I threw in a brand new lure I designed. I designed a 2-inch Helgamite lure that should work pretty good for trout. I kind of neglected to record making that because I just thought of it on a whim. But I threw that in there, and I also imported the paddle tail and the salmon eggs into the same project, and I put them together all in the same mold. Now these lures are obviously very small, so it seemed kind of wasteful and annoying to have to inject 3 different molds, print 3 different molds. That's why I put them all in the same one. So you guys can just print out one mold and you guys should be pretty set for trout season, soft plastic wise. A little side note on the Helgamite lure. I know Helgamites are called smallmouth candy for a reason, but I wanted a bug to make for the trout, some type of insect lure. That's why I made it for this, and we do have the ability, I designed this so we can just scale it up later for some smallmouth, so we will definitely be revisiting it in the future. So I just drew up a mold box around these 3 lures on Fusion 360, and I 3D printed it on my Anycubic Photon Mono X using the Ceratech Sculpt resin, but this will also work with an FDM printer. I designed it to be compatible with both types of printers, so let's have some fun injecting this bad boy. So our Trout Trifecta is now done. All those little white marks are just dust from sanding this foot down at the bottom. When you print these in the same orientation I do, there's a little overhang in the bottom you have to sand down and get the mold to close tight. So I'm going to screw this thing together and we're going to inject it. Should be right at a good shooting range. A little low, but it'll be fine. So we'll just draw this in. Burp it. And inject our watermelon. See you guys when this is cooled down. So while that's cooling off, we're going to work on our next color. If you guys want to use the same plastic as me, this is Dead On Plastic's Worm Blend. I wanted something super soft for the trout lures, just so it gets that nice buttery action. That is now cooked. So for this color, we're going to do one of my favorite trout colors is like a fluorescent pink. This is called neon pink, same thing. And we're just going to keep putting dye in and mixing this till we like the color. That looks good to me. So we're going to put this off to the side while we crack open our mold. Alright, this should all be hardened up now. We'll slowly open it. I don't want to rip those legs. And that's our whole thing. It's kind of hard to see, but I'll break that up, we'll re-inject, and I'll show you guys these all when we're all done. Alright, so our pink is now ready to go, so we're going to shoot that. Same thing as last time, I am going to add a bit more pressure this time. On the last shot, one of the tails didn't come out so good on one of the paddle tails, so I'm just going to push a little harder. That should fix that. That should be good for that, and then we'll move on to our next color when this is done. Alright, this should be done now. We'll crack this open, same as last time, nice and slow. That extra pressure definitely helped. All the tails came out finished this time. There's probably no way you guys are going to be able to see that. But that's our nice fluorescent pink color. I'll clean that all up later, and we'll move on to our next color. That's definitely cooked now. So we are just going to inject our next color, which is chartreuse, another excellent trout color. We'll mix that up. That looks good, and we'll just give that a bit to cool off before we inject. These resin molds are a lot more resilient than the FDM printed molds, at least with the plastic I've used in them before. I have a new type of plastic in the works now that might change things up a bit, but time will tell. I will shoot this. We're going to add a decent amount of pressure just like last time. We'll top that off. Wait for this to cool off and move on to our final color. I'll see you guys then. So we'll crack open our chartreuse now. That's how that came out. Same thing as last time. We're going to move on to a darker color for our fourth and final color. And I will see you guys when that is ready to inject. This is like it's black with fluorescent purple. Should be a nice dark color for this to change it up from the bright fluorescence. We'll add our pressure in. You guys do make this mold yourselves, just be careful. This thing likes to shoot a little bit cooler than my other molds. They'll help the tails on those paddle tails. We'll top that off, and I'll see you guys for the final results. These are final results. This is how the salmon eggs came out, pretty good. Not much to say about those, they're pretty simple. I think the Helgamites came out really good. I'm pretty excited to use these. Like I said before, we will be scaling these up for smallmouth for sure. And the paddle tail came out just like it did before. Same thing. These will make a great addition to my trout box. So that's going to be it for this video. If you guys want to see something I haven't made yet, feel free to make a comment down below and I'll make it. And you guys can click away from this video now, or you guys could check out one of the other lures I've made and get yourselves another free awesome lure. Thank you guys for watching.